Hi friends, it's Elaine again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to share with you something very powerful because they're going to be the 5 signs that are going to reveal whether your partner really loves you. Because relationships, they can take up a lot of emotional energy. They can be really confusing and taxing. And while I was working as a lawyer in the UK, a lot of my clients would come and they'd say, look, I'm going through an emotional roller coaster. Some points in their relationship, they thought it was great. They felt blessed that they were a part of something really beautiful. At other times, they would come to me and say, look, Elaine, I'm just wondering if I'm wasting my time here because the situationship that I'm in, and the way that my partner is treating me, I don't know what's going on. So you may be in exactly the same position as some of my clients. You don't know where to find the truth. And you could be spending weeks, months, years, and even decades with the wrong partner. So that is why I created this video. It's to help you decide whether your relationship is worth pursuing because your partner really genuinely loves you, or whether your partner doesn't love you and you should basically shut down the relationship. At the end of this video, it's going to be very clear what your partner is saying to you, not only what he's saying to you, but also what he's doing to you emotionally, psychologically, and financially. So you'll know exactly what the next step is going to be going forward, whatever you choose to do. And that is going to be very powerful. It's coming up. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, it's all about empowering you in your relationship and in your personal growth journey. And the first thing that you need to decide whether your partner truly loves you is to understand what love really looks like in a relationship. And I know this may seem like a really basic question, but I want you to hear me out on this because many of us don't know what love really looks like. And we often make the mistake of thinking that physical attention, the presence of someone in our lives, sexual attraction or sexual attention is love. And it doesn't stop there. We also feel that financial attention, abusive attention equates to love. But of course, they're entirely different entities. So please let me give you the definition of love as a Christian. And this is coming from 1 Corinthians 13, 4-5. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no records of wrong. So let me bring the conversation to a deeper level. It's about how you and your partner or your potential partner understand the concept of love. And typically we understand the concept of love, that feeling of being valued and cherished and respected through our parents or our guardians. Girls look to their fathers for affirmation of who they are, and this speaks to what they consider is their potential value in the world. So it is really important, and it creates a massive impact on what they believe they are capable of in the world. And boys look at their mothers for affirmation to determine how they will be valued in the world and how they will be received by the world. And both boys and girls look at how their parents treat each other to understand the message of love. And I'm going to explain this powerfully in more detail, so stick with me on this video. But before I go any further, I would just like to say thank you so much for watching this video. I love you very much. Please subscribe, share, and like this video if you get any value out of it at all, because that will ensure that I will be able to continue to empower you on your personal growth journey. I love you very much and thank you. And this brings me to the second step to determine whether your partner truly loves you. And that's all about determining whether your partner is delivering anything close to what I've just said in 1 Corinthians 13, 4-5. And this comes in 2 parts. So you need to look at the first part is the quality of time that your partner is spending with you. Now, if your partner is buying you expensive gifts, telling you, that they love you, I really care about you, you are a really special person, this doesn't necessarily mean that they love you, that they truly love you, because you have to look at whether they understand the concept of true love themselves. So are they coming from a loving family who has taught them the real concept of love, or are they dependent on looking at society to teach them? And I'm going to come back to this a bit later on, so stick with me on this video, because it's very easy to fall into the trap that distorts what love truly looks like. And this brings me to the second aspect, the second subsection. Does your partner value the essence of who you are based on what you bring to the relationship? Do they see your soul, the uniqueness, the individuality that you radiate, so that both you and your partner value each other? And you can feel that positivism. You can feel the energy that your partner radiates. It's in the air. Actually breathing it in. It's so real. It's almost palpable. You can almost feel it. Do you have this in your relationship? Because if you're experiencing this, then this indicates true love. But if you're not experiencing this and you still remain in the relationship and your partner is not treating you right, I call this emotional bondage. Now, you might just be in a relationship where your partner doesn't mistreat you, but there isn't any love. But if you're in a situation where your partner is treating you badly, then you really are tied up in this emotional bondage which you call love. Could range from a number of things. It could be from disrespecting you, manipulating you, abusing you, and you tolerate it because every time you want to break up with your partner, the situation differs. Your partner starts switching up his behavior, treating you right, and then you get confused. It becomes a cycle. He keeps on abusing you and then he makes you feel good. So you stay with him because you're emotionally bonded to that person. And because you feel that, you can't go through the healing process because your relationship is so up and down. And on top of that, you've committed years to your situation and you feel that you can't let go of it because you want to see it through. So at this stage, I want you to think about here whether you have the beauty of a loving relationship, whether you could feel the love within you. And if you can, then that's good. But if you're going through a situation which is dressed up of love, then you got to really think about whether that relationship is worth sticking the distance with. And the third way that you can tell if your partner really loves you is whether they treat you as the number one person in their lives. And the question is, are they emotionally available to make you their queen or their king? Ask yourself the question, therefore, are you the hero of their life? Because everyone wants to be a hero. And men in particular, they want to feel like a hero, not necessarily a superhero, but they have an innate biological drive to have a life of meaning. And this comes from the need to provide for those that they care about. And this links back to the psychology of being emotionally available to provide for their partner, share and care for their partner. And this is a sign of love. So your partner should be the number one go-to person, the hero in your life. So consider whether this is actually the case. Is your partner making you a priority? Then if they are, then this is a good sign of love. But if they're not doing this, then consider whether, this is true love. And the fourth thing that I want you to think about to determine whether your partner truly loves you is to get up close and personal with yourself. Think about it. Are you in this relationship because your partner loves you and you love your partner? Or are you in the relationship because you like the idea of love? Because love doesn't play games, and neither should you. And if you're playing games with your partner, or your partner is playing games with you, then it can have serious repercussions for your mental and physical well-being. I've known many men and women, many people that have spent decades in their relationship only to complain years later about the mistreatment that they suffered. And much of this comes down to what I call societal conditioning. See, we're all brought up to believe that we need to have a partner, and that if we don't have a partner, we have less value. And therefore, this brings down the bar of what love is, because we've got to have a partner. It doesn't matter if the partner doesn't love me, I've got to have a partner. So even if you're in the wrong relationship, you have to be attached to someone, because society makes you desperate. It makes you thirsty, so thirsty for relationships that you think make you feel more valuable. But the reality is that it devalues you. It makes you accept them even though they're not really accepting you. This makes you forget what individuality looks like. But go back to Corinthians 13, 4-5, because the truth will set you free. That's the true definition of love. And if you don't have it in your relationship, then you're not in love and you're not being loved. And that brings me to the fifth thing that you need to pay attention to determine whether your partner truly loves you. And that's whether you're in the relationship just because of familiarity, because you've been in this situationship with your partner for years, and your partner doesn't compliment you the way they used to. They start dressing differently from the way they used to, and you're beginning to think whether they've found somebody new, and they suddenly don't listen to you like they used to. They're no longer invested in the relationship, and you don't feel that you're getting anywhere. What do I mean by this? Well, there's no long-term goal. You're not thinking about getting married, buying a house, having children, and they no longer respect you. They don't do the things that make you happy. They show up late, when you're due to meet them with no good reason. But you accept this because you accept the familiar. You don't want to give up the investment that you've spent years in, and you're too scared to give up the familiar. There's no spark, there's no energy in your situation, but you continue with it and you feel unfulfilled. It's a dysfunctional relationship. Or maybe it's not as bad as all that, but there's nothing going on but the rent. And you know what I mean. There's no love. And perhaps you're the one paying the rent. You're being financially abused. Understand that just because you're used to that situation doesn't make it right. Don't get pulled into a situationship where your mind can't move away from negativity because you're so used to familiarity. Because sometimes you can be a slave to your attachment. And if you're not careful, the right person will come along, but because you're so used to negativity and you're so used to the familiarity, you actually sabotage a positive relationship that can give you true love. You may not have been aware that this is happening to you, but this video explains to you, hopefully, what is going on in your relationship, what true love really looks like. And now, my friends, the ball is really in your court. Be serious about what your next step is. Question yourself. Are you willing to still stay in the relationship if you truly believe that your partner doesn't love you and you're being treated as a second-class citizen? Do you stay in a relationship or do you move on? You move on. That's my advice to you. I really love you and appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one on Sunday. Goodbye for now.